There's a guy at your office who's objectively not that attractive, maybe a little overweight, receding hairline, dresses kinda boring, but somehow, when he walks into a room, people light up. Everyone wants to talk to him. He's invited to every lunch, promoted ahead of people with better credentials. Then there's someone else, stunning, model-level looks, perfect hair, perfect skin, perfect everything. But conversations with them feel exhausting, cold, something's off. You can't quite explain it, but you don't want to be around them. What's the difference? Welcome to Briefly Science. Today, we're exploring one of the most powerful forces in human social life, charisma. That invisible quality that makes some people magnetic and leaves others invisible. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is making snap judgments about people's intelligence, trustworthiness, competence, and likability in about 7 seconds, sometimes less, before you've even finished saying hello. But the really interesting part? Physical attractiveness matters way less than you think. And the things that actually create charisma? You can learn them, you can practice them, you can become more charismatic starting today. Let's talk about what your brain is actually responding to when it decides someone is charismatic. Here's what blew my mind when I started researching this. Your brain processes nonverbal communication up to half a second before it processes the words someone is saying. Half a second might not sound like much, but in brain time, that's an eternity. Your brain is reading facial expressions, body language, vocal tone, micro movements, and making massive judgments about this person before their words even register consciously. Think about that. You could be saying the smartest thing ever said. But if your body language is closed off, if your voice is monotone, if you're not making eye contact, your brain has already decided you're not worth listening to before the words even land. This is why some incredibly intelligent people seem boring, and why some people with nothing interesting to say still command a room. They've mastered the language your brain actually speaks, and that language isn't English or Turkish or Mandarin, it's the language of nonverbal communication. So what is that language saying? Let's start with the body. Your posture is broadcasting information about you before you open your mouth. Studies show that simply standing up straight, shoulders back, head high, chest open, changes how people perceive you. You look more confident, more competent, more trustworthy. But here's the wild part. It also changes how you feel. This isn't just about faking confidence. When you adopt a confident posture, your brain receives feedback from your body and actually starts producing different hormones. Harvard researcher Amy Cuddy found that holding a power pose for just 2 minutes increases testosterone and decreases cortisol. You literally become more confident just by standing differently. Your body is talking to your brain, and your brain is listening. Now, eye contact. This one's huge. When someone maintains good eye contact with you, not staring, but genuine warm eye contact, something happens in your brain. Your prefrontal cortex lights up. This is the area responsible for social cognition, for understanding other people. Eye contact says, "I see you, you matter, I'm present with you." When someone looks away while you're talking, your brain reads it as disinterest, disrespect, even if that's not what they mean. The phone in their pocket, if they even glance at it, your brain registers that as this device is more important than you are. Neuroscience backs this up. We intuitively feel that when someone's gaze shifts away, their attention has shifted away. And that intuition is correct. But there's a sweet spot. About 60 to 70% eye contact during conversation. Too much and you're intense, creepy. Too little and you're disengaged, untrustworthy. Charismatic people nail this balance without thinking about it. Then there's the smile. And no, not that forced, fake smile you give your boss. A genuine smile. Here's how you know the difference. A real smile engages your whole face. Your eyes crinkle, your cheeks rise. It's called a Duchenne smile, named after the researcher who first documented it. Fake smiles only use your mouth, and your brain can tell. Everyone's brain can tell. We're wired to detect fake smiles because in our evolutionary past, fake friendliness could be dangerous. A genuine smile triggers oxytocin release in both you and the person you're smiling at. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It builds trust, creates connection. Charismatic people smile genuinely. Often. Not constantly, that's weird, but when it's appropriate, the smile is real. Gestures matter too. People who use hand gestures while talking are perceived as more dynamic, more confident, more persuasive. But, and this is important, the gestures need to be purposeful. Not nervous fidgeting, not wild flailing. Controlled, intentional movements that emphasize your points. Open palm gestures signal honesty and openness. Pointing too much looks aggressive. Fidgeting with your hair or tapping your foot broadcasts anxiety. Charismatic people use their hands like they're conducting an orchestra. The gestures support the words, add emphasis, create rhythm. Now let's talk about voice, because this is where things get really interesting. You know how some people just sound more confident, more authoritative, more attractive? That's not an accident. Voice pitch is one of the most powerful signals in human communication, and your brain is extraordinarily sensitive to it. Lower-pitched voices are perceived as more confident, more dominant, more leader-like. This is true across cultures. Men with lower voices are seen as more attractive and are actually more successful in elections. Studies have shown that voters can predict election outcomes just by hearing candidates' voices. For women, higher-pitched voices are often perceived as more feminine and, in some contexts, more attractive. But here's the twist. The most charismatic speakers, regardless of gender, don't use a monotone voice. They use a wide pitch range. Variation is the key. Going from low to high and back creates contrast, grabs attention, signals emotion and enthusiasm. Monotone voices, even if they're objectively beautiful, are boring. Your brain tunes them out. Barack Obama is a master of this. He uses pauses, pitch variation. Sometimes he goes low and serious. Then he lifts his voice to sound hopeful. His vocal range keeps you engaged even if you disagree with what he's saying. Speech rate matters too. Fast talkers are perceived as more charismatic and competent. But there's a limit. Too fast and you sound nervous, rushed. People can't process what you're saying. Charismatic speakers vary their speed. They slow down for emphasis, speed up when building energy. Use pauses, strategic silence, to let important points land. The pause is where the magic happens. Nervous speakers rush to fill every silence. Charismatic speakers let silence do the work. Volume is another tool. Charismatic speakers adjust their volume. Louder for larger groups, softer for intimate conversations. They use volume variation for emphasis. A sudden drop to a whisper makes people lean in, captures involuntary attention. And here's something fascinating. All of this vocal stuff, it's happening unconsciously in the listener's brain. When you hear someone with a charismatic voice, your brain is releasing dopamine, the reward chemical. You feel pleasure just from listening to them, even if you're not consciously aware of it. Their confident tone activates trust-building pathways in your brain. Oxytocin again. Your brain is deciding this person is safe, competent, worth following based on sound waves hitting your eardrums. So what's happening in the brain when we encounter a charismatic person? Mirror neurons. These are neurons that fire both when you perform an action and when you watch someone else perform that action. When a charismatic person displays confident body language, expressive gestures, passionate speech, your mirror neurons fire. You feel what they're feeling. It's emotional contagion. This is why charisma is infectious. Why passionate speakers can ignite a crowd. Why one enthusiastic person can change the energy of an entire room. Their emotion literally spreads to your brain through mirror neuron activation. But it goes deeper. Charismatic people activate your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for social cognition and decision-making. When you interact with someone charismatic, your brain's social processing centers light up. You're not just passively receiving information, you're engaging, connecting. Your brain is working harder, firing more intensely, and that feels good. Now, the halo effect. This is the part that's kind of depressing. In 1920, psychologist Edward Thorndike discovered something disturbing. When military officers rated their soldiers, if they thought a soldier was physically attractive, they also rated that soldier as more intelligent, better at leadership, more dependable, even though these things have nothing to do with physical appearance. He called it the halo effect. One positive trait, like attractiveness, creates a halo that makes us assume other positive traits exist. And this effect is strong. Studies show that attractive people are perceived as more intelligent, more trustworthy, more competent, more sociable, happier, more successful. None of this is based on evidence. It's pure bias. But your brain does it automatically, usually within 7 seconds of meeting someone. Attractive people receive lighter sentences for the same crime. They're more likely to get hired, more likely to get promoted, perceived as better performers even when objective metrics show otherwise. This seems unfair, and it is. But here's the good news. The halo effect isn't just about physical appearance. Remember that first guy I mentioned? The average-looking one who everyone loves? He's created a different kind of halo. Through body language, vocal tone, genuine smiles, eye contact, he's triggering all the same brain responses that physical attractiveness triggers. Your brain doesn't care if the positive feelings come from a symmetrical face or from warm eye contact and confident posture. The result is the same. You like this person, trust this person, want to be around this person. This is why some incredibly attractive people still seem cold, unlikable. Their physical appearance creates an initial halo, but their body language contradicts it. Closed posture, no genuine smiles, weak eye contact, monotone voice. The halo shatters, and your brain adjusts its assessment. Charisma trumps attractiveness. Every time. Studies comparing physical attractiveness to nonverbal expressiveness found that expressive behavior, body language, facial expressions, vocal animation, has a stronger effect on likability than physical appearance. Let that sink in. How you move, how you sound, how you make eye contact. These matter more than what you look like. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not attractive, so I can't be charismatic, you're wrong. You're completely wrong. Charisma is a skill. You can learn it. Here's what the research says actually works. First, fix your posture. Stand up straight, open your chest, pull your shoulders back. Not rigid, relaxed, but upright. This changes how others see you and how you feel about yourself. Second, practice genuine eye contact, 60 to 70% during conversation. Look away, look back, don't stare, don't avoid, find the rhythm. Third, smile when it's genuine, don't force it. But when you feel warmth, let it show on your face. Real smiles are contagious and trigger oxytocin in both brains. Fourth, use your hands, purposeful gestures, open palms, emphasize your points physically, make your body language match your words. Fifth, vary your voice, high and low, fast and slow, loud and soft. Use pauses for emphasis. Practice using the full range of your voice. Sixth, be present. Put your phone away. Give people your full attention. This might be the single most charismatic thing you can do in modern life. When you're fully present with someone, when your body language says, "You matter right now," their brain releases oxytocin. They feel seen, valued, connected, and they'll want to be around you. Here's the thing about charisma that most people miss. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about being dominant or aggressive. The most charismatic people make you feel good when you're with them. They make you feel interesting, valued, heard. They do this through attention, through warmth, through body language that says, "I'm open to you," and vocal tone that says, "I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say." And yeah, some people are naturally better at this. Some people grow up in environments where these skills are modeled, where warm eye contact and genuine smiles and expressive body language are normal. But even if you didn't grow up with that, you can learn it. Studies show that when people are taught these specific behaviors, maintain eye contact, smile genuinely, use hand gestures, vary vocal pitch, they're rated as significantly more likable and charismatic. The skills are teachable, learnable, practicable. Your brain's response to someone else's charisma is hardwired. Millions of years of evolution built these circuits. But your ability to be charismatic, that's software. And software can be upgraded. So the next time you meet someone magnetic, someone who just seems to draw people in, pay attention. Watch their body language, listen to their vocal patterns. Notice how they make eye contact. They're speaking the language your brain understands. The language of presence, warmth, confidence, genuine connection. And now you know that language too. Charisma isn't magic. It's not a gift some people are born with and others aren't. It's a set of specific, learnable behaviors that trigger specific, measurable responses in other people's brains. You make eye contact, their prefrontal cortex activates. You smile genuinely, their brain releases oxytocin. You speak with varied pitch and strategic pauses, their dopamine system engages. You use open body language, their mirror neurons fire, and they feel what you're projecting. This is science. This is measurable. This is real. And it means that becoming more charismatic isn't about changing who you are. It's about aligning your external expression with your internal intent. When what you're feeling inside matches what you're showing outside, when your words and your body language and your vocal tone all point in the same direction, that's charisma. That's when people can't help but be drawn to you. If you enjoyed learning about the neuroscience of charisma and what actually makes people likable, subscribe to Briefly Science. We make complex science accessible, and we'd love to have you along for the journey. And hey, if this video made you think differently about how you show up in the world, let us know in the comments. We read them all. Now go out there and make some eye contact.